Up next on the Marmy Rock Show, very excited to have Chaz from Rockett Queen with us. They are from Tyler, Texas. Chaz, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
And thanks for doing round two, man. We tried to hook up earlier, and the mechanical gods and the technical gods got to us. I really appreciate you taking the time. So, hey guys, you guys got a brand new album out, and it's called Goodnight California. It's absolutely fantastic. So tell me a little bit about, yeah, you're welcome, man. Tell me about where that thing was recorded and who produced it.
Right on. So you're the guy who bought the album, so thank you very much for that. It was recorded here in Tyler, Texas. The producer was Walter Lee, the one and only lead singer and rhythm guitar player for Rockett Queen. He's got a special knack and an interest in recording and producing and things. So he's the one who made it sound so awesome. But yeah, it was recorded by Rockett Queen, I guess.
It's a great album. Now, for folks that don't know, I'm not going to tell them everything, but there is a music video out there for the tune I Hate You. So I'm going to ask you a question that'll pique some interest in people. Who are the other people besides the band in that? Were they actors or boxers?
Actually, it's a real-life couple, and one is training to be a fighter, I believe. I don't know exactly his history, but the female is a Playboy playmate.
So do you want to leak a little? Yeah. So that'll pique some people's interest. Do you want to leak a little more about maybe what that song's about, the I Hate You song?
The I Hate You song is about that relationship that you have, whether you're male or female, where you just can't stand to be around the person that you're involved with, but the sex is so great, you just can't, it outshines the bad, you know?
Now, if that doesn't get some people to tune into your video, I don't know what will, so.
It's an exciting video.
Funny. So, another song I want to ask you about is the song Goodnight California. Now, is that in any way an autobiographical tune? Is that about you guys?
No, that's about all the fallen heroes, like our musical heroes and whatnot, that who have come before us and kind of lit up the path. It's about somebody's star burning out too quickly. You know, the fallen ones. You know, we dedicate that song to Freddie Mercury and David Bowie, Dimebag Darrell. You know, before we play it live. And not necessarily people who have passed away. You know, we dedicated that song to Scott Stapp on this last tour. Because, you know, he was going down a really bumpy road and he recovered from it. So, you know, he could have been one of those fallen legends that we would have never heard of again. But thankfully, you know, he's back on the right path and you know, he's kicking some butt. So you know, that's what that's about.
Now, I'm going to ask you about that tour later in the interview, but since you brought up Scott Stapp, let's talk a little bit about that tour. You just had a nice run out there with him. Tell us about that experience.
It's been a great experience. You know, when we were offered the tour, I was kind of skeptical at first. I think as anybody would have been because of his past and not knowing him personally or anything like that. But so I went in a little hesitant, I guess I could say, but that quickly changed after meeting him and within the first couple of days. He's got a great show. He sounds good. He looks good. He's a super nice dude. And his whole staff, his whole camp has been very welcoming and treated us like family. And it's our very first national tour. It's our first big time tour, and we're being spoiled like nobody's business right now. So it's going to be hard to go out with somebody else and probably get treated like openers should. But that's definitely not the case with this one, man. We're learning what to do on this tour.
You shared the stage with so many cool bands that I personally love, like Drowning Pool and Avatar. And I was going to ask, is there any one band that you learned something from, whether it's about performing or just being a band, that sticks out with you?
A little stuff here and there. For the most part, let's see. Really, I guess because we've spent so much time, I would have to say Scott again. A lot of the times when we're sharing the stage with all these great bands, it's kind of like a one and done type deal, and everything's just moving so fast. Or if we're doing a festival thing like Bands Warped Tour, there's just no time to sit back and actually kind of enjoy what's going on. Because usually said band, for instance, Drowning Pool or Avatar, when they're on stage, we're packing up gear, you know. So, you know, the only time we get to hang out is like maybe during sound check, but then somebody's always busy. There are a lot of bands who are doing it the correct way, but there's, you know, a handful of bands that aren't as well. So I guess you could take notes on what to do and what not to do. But Scott has been a very big influence as of right now, as, you know, what to do as a, you know, professional wise, and, you know, just out on the road and how to handle it.
So I was shocked to see that it was 10 years ago that the song The Next Big Thing, like, took off for you guys and, like, kind of almost not launched you guys, but it really did a lot for you guys. Tell us, like, some of the cool places that tune has appeared.
As one of the biggest things, which actually it just had its 10-year anniversary, was MTV's John Tucker's Must Die. So that kind of opened, you know, some of the doors for Rockett Queen when that song came out, and such a big movie. And we still have a page on MTV.com, which is kind of absurd to hear nowadays because they don't do music anymore. But yeah, I mean, people refer to that, you know, that movie, and when John Tucker Must Die comes up, it's related to Rockett Queen. And when it's on, people text us or send us messages, and so it's fun. But we had a lot to do with MTV as well. There was, you know, some shows that our songs were featured in as well. They're no longer here, but they helped us out quite a bit in the beginning.
Now, it seems like with listening to the new music, like it's evolved into a much heavier band than you were back in the days of The Next Big Thing. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, most definitely. We've kind of evolved, I guess, which let's see, I enjoy music. I enjoy bands who evolve. You know, for instance, you know, I'm not in any way comparing us to Metallica whatsoever, but you get Kill 'Em All, and then you pick up, you know, Death Magnetic. It's, you know, pretty much just, it's different. You know, they've evolved through the years, you know, trying different things and new things and what works and what doesn't. And, I like to think that about Rockett Queen, where if you pick up, you know, that John Tucker Must Die soundtrack or, the very first album, you know, it's, you know, different, but you can kind of still hear the original sound, I guess. Right. And, you know, we were in Nashville as well recording the brand new album, and, there's a little bit of Nashville influence there. So that's another evolution as well. So you're not going to hear the same record, you know, every time you pick up a Rockett Queen album. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. I'm a fan of when bands do that too. So, hey, one or two more things before I let you go here. Now, you guys threw an acoustic tune at the end of Goodnight California. Now, is the acoustic thing something you do live from time to time, or how did that version land on the record?
That version landed on the record because if we went from an EP to a full-length album, and Hard to Love is actually kind of a glimpse as to what we're working on now into the new album. So it's an acoustic version of what you'll hear on the next album. Acoustic, we really don't perform acoustic live. It's something that, you know, we want to do, but we just haven't had time recently to get together and sit down and put it together. But Rockett Queen is definitely something, a band that could very well do that.
Yeah, man, acoustic tunes will reveal what a band is all about, and that's a great tune on that record, so I'm glad you put it on there. So,
that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, man. So before I let you go, tell me a little bit about what the band has planned for the rest of the summer. You guys going to be doing some festivals or recording or touring, or what are you guys doing this summer?
Well, we are trying to finish up the new album, but we're kind of taking our time on it. And other than that, show-wise, we have some tour offers. August, you can expect to see us, you know, with Scott again, going to the West Coast. So we're super excited about that for sure. And really, man, we're just going to hit the pavement and try to get Rockett Queen in every ear hole and onto every mouth that we possibly can. So, we're just going to do it old school and how you're supposed to do it. Just going to play as many shows as we can, meet as many people as we possibly can, and, sell some records.
Well, I was a fan immediately when I heard you guys, and once again, the album is Goodnight California. The new album, they're working on it right now. They're out of Tyler, Texas, and I want to thank Chaz from Rockett Queen for being our guest tonight, man. Chaz, thanks so much for being here.
Dude, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.